Hey Dave, how are you?
I am better than I deserve. How are you, Sarah?
I'm doing great. And I've been hearing all about your new book, EntreLeadership. It is a big, big deal right now. And I want to talk to you about that specifically. Now, I was watching one of the videos online and I was reading also about the book, and it was talking about how this is 20 years of your experience in the trenches of business. So, my question to you is, do you think it is more difficult now to start a business debt free or with little debt than it was 20 years ago?
Oh, I think it's a lot easier now. When I started, I was selling books out of the trunk of my car and couldn't even get a bookstore to take them, so I got some video store to put them on the front counter on consignment. And that's how the first financial peace books were sold 20 years ago. Today, you can go on to Amazon and do a deal with them, self-publish, and they'll put your book out there. It's amazing. And you can set up ebooks and download books free and quick and easy. That's just an example in the publishing world. But in the world of Twitter and Facebook and Craigslist and Angie's List and YouTube and eBay stores, there's so many more ways to get to your customers now free. It's a great time to start a business.
I totally agree. Social media has taken business to the next level, more than we could even imagine. Now, as you were talking about selling books out of the back of your car, which I have also done, do you think that that is something that new business owners are skipping these days? I've heard a lot of business owners, they just grab the nearest loan or the nearest credit card, and they're almost trying to bypass the trenches. What do you think about that?
Well, obviously, I think that's a bad idea. You know, since time began, that's not a new trend. People have always looked for shortcuts, and I'm not above going the shortest route to something, but this idea that somehow we're going to borrow $250,000 as a second mortgage on an SBA loan on our home you know, buy a business in a box and instantly be successful, I got to tell you the truth is that very seldom works. Lots of people go broke doing that because you make so many mistakes in business, and when you borrow money to do your mistake, it magnifies the size of the mistake. And so just course correct slightly as you go along with organically grown cash, and you know, work your butt off for 20 years, you'll be an overnight success.
Absolutely. So you do agree that it's the 20 years of trenches that have made you the success?
Oh, the 20 years of trenches, the quality of people we've been able to get around us, our team is the reason for our success. And you know, just this idea of work that matters and being passionate about it so that you don't quit every time there's an obstacle, every time there's a problem. Because I got to tell you, it's tough out here in the market. You got to be willing to fight. But that's what toughens you and makes you able to do the stuff you've got to do to win.
Absolutely. That's what makes you a true entrepreneur as well. So, with your new book, EntreLeadership, what makes that book different from every other leadership book out there?
Well, there's lots of wonderful leadership writers out there. I read most of them. I'm a student of leadership because I'm running my own business and I wanted to learn. People like Jim Collins and Malcolm Gladwell and Seth Godin, they're just incredible. Read all their stuff. But this is a hand-to-hand combat book. This is a book that's not armchair theory. It's how we do it at our place. I mean, we're a championship business and this is our playbook. We win Best Place to Work in Nashville, our hometown, every year, 310 employees, team members, and it's just, you know, this is the stuff we do. So if you wonder how to lead mechanically, how to build culture in your company, how to grow your marketing plan, how to even do accounting, it's all laid out here. This is the handbook for business, especially small business.
Well, it sounds awesome. And from what I've heard online, it's the type of book that makes you be from like a boss and turns you into a leader, which is key to leading your team, not necessarily bossing them around. So I think that is amazing as well. Is there anything else you'd like to tell us about this book?
Well, thank you. I think you're exactly right. You're onto something there. And when I first started and I was a young leader, I really wasn't very good and I was more of a boss. I just told people what to do and then couldn't figure out why they wouldn't do it all the time. It just drove me nuts. Instead, I figured out you can't push a rope. You got to pull it. And so investing back into my team, loving them, knowing about their families and their problems, their dreams, their nightmares, and just pouring into them and then sharing our vision with them and letting them walk alongside me as we did these things, it's caused us to be able to lift this thing to an unbelievable level. And it's very rewarding to lead a team versus boss employees.
And now for everybody else out there, I want them to know that they can pick up your new book, EntreLeadership, of course, virtually anywhere, but then go to DaveRamsey.com, go to EntreLeadership.com and check you out. Thank you, Dave, for joining us today.
Thank you, Sarah. Thanks for having me.
Thanks.